Order, order. The Secretary will read the fifth order of the day.
Debate on Vote 2, Provincial Parliament, Western Cape Appropriation Bill.
I see the Speaker, Speaker Majola.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, it is my privilege to introduce the provincial budget for 2014-2015. As this is the final budget for the current parliamentary term, it is important to lay a solid foundation for the new parliamentary term, which will all probability commence during the latter part of May this year. I would firstly like to highlight a few achievements over the past 5 years. As the members are aware, Parliament had some challenges in the filling of vacancies, which led to the underspending in the previous years. The filling of vacancies has accelerated over the last 2 years. Committees, for example, are nearly fully capacitated, and the information technology has for the first time a full complement of staff. This will definitely translate into a better service delivery for our clients. In collaboration with the Legislative Support Program and Parliament, members of the Provincial Parliament participated in the capacity building program. The Parliament has migrated from PAWC network to our own network, and although this brought some challenges, that last few years has seen the network stabilize, which resulted in the improvement in internet and email services, including the Wi-Fi connectivity and access. The Parliament even provides members with mobile technology in the form of tablets and computers. The website proved to be a challenge for the WCPP, but will see a new launch of a website by the end of this financial year. Corporate governance has always been rated high in the WCPP, and we received a clean audit reports for all the years except the last financial year. Last year, Parliament received an unqualified report with one financial and material finding on performance and information. The WCPP have put control measures in place to deal with the financial finding and in respect of the usefulness of performance. Deputy Speaker, safety at the legislature building is still one of our challenges. It has been given a more accordant approach by all stakeholders as required. Although certain measures were put in place, like the installation of closed television cameras and more visible policing on the perimeters of the legislature building, it still has serious challenges to access to the building and the security on the various floors and garages. Provincial Parliament, in collaboration with all role players, need to address this matter as agents. As a Speaker, I am committed to ensure that the Provincial Parliament fulfills its constitutional obligations. The following strategic goals will guide us in this process: procedural and related support to the House and its committees, sound administrative support to members and stakeholders, corporate support to members and staff, optimal involvement of stakeholders in our processes. 2014-2015 seemed modest increase from the revised estimate across all programs over the MTEC period as follows: Administration increase of 5.46%. Facilities for members and political parties increase of 6.2%. Parliamentary services increased by 4.42%. Compensation of employees has increased by 6.940 million from the revised 2013-2014 estimates of 39.939 million. The reason for the increase is to make provision for improvement of conditions of services, and as well as the performance notes increase over the MTEF. Furthermore, Deputy Speaker, provision was made for contracts both in critical operational areas to ensure effective and efficient operations and to improve overall performance of the WCPP. The goods and services budget has decreased by 6.69, mainly due to the finalization of once-off expenditure projects for which additional funding was allocated during 2013-2014 financial year. Transfer and subsidies increased by 4.45%. Departmental agencies and accounts decreased by 88.96% due to the purchasing of the additional pool vehicles from the government motor transport in the 2013-2014 financial year. Payment to political parties increased by 5.25%. Payments for capital assets decreased by 33.75% due to the finalization of once-off expenditure projects for which additional funding was allocated during 2013-2014 financial year. Deputy Speaker, as you may note, that the Parliament did not receive an additional budget with regards to existing and incoming members after the elections. Furthermore, no additional funding was given for the establishment of the WCPP's own audit function. Deputy Speaker, there is a new financial management legislation that will affect the Provincial Parliament currently before the National Parliament. This legislation requires that all legislators migrate from accrual account system to system that Parliament requested Deputy Speaker, that migrate from the accrual system. Parliament has requested funding for accrual financial system, but it has not been forthcoming. The Provincial Treasurer, however, undertaken to relook the budget at the adjustment appropriate for 2014. Deputy Speaker, it is important that we do not forget the vital importance of this institution. I therefore encourage the honorable members to support this vote. I thank you.
Thank you, Speaker. Die achtbare Rousseau.
Achtbare adjunct Speaker, dit is vir my vandag 'n spesiale voorreg dat ek weer vanjaar, maar ook vir die laaste keer ter ondersteuning van hierdie begrotingspos aan die debat kan deelneem. Hoewel daar slegs 'n inflasieverwante aanpassing gemaak is in die begroting, waardeer ons dit dat die fondse verantwoordelik verdeel is en 'n spandering daarvan op so 'n daaglikse wyse geskied dat ons die afgelope aantal jare kan spog met skoon audits en toekenning van een van die beste departemente. Ons neem met kommer kennis van die daling in die bedrag wat bewillig is vir veiligheid en sekuriteit. Gedurende die laaste paar aantal reëlskomitee vergaderings is daar intens besin oor die manier waarop sekuriteit hanteer behoort te word. Omdat ons die gebou met die regering deel, moet 'n toepaslike sekuriteitsplan daar gestel word om die buitengewone en uitsonderlike situasie te hanteer. Die aanstel van 'n persoon met die nodige en gespesialiseerde kundigheid om uitsluitlik die veiligheid en sekuriteit van ons parlementsgebou, lede en personeel te verseker, sal in die nuwe termyn dringend aandag moet geniet. This Parliament is a national security key point, but it is difficult to treat it as such because of our location. The Provincial Parliament of the Western Cape is most probably the only parliament in the world where Parliament and government are accommodated in the same building. To accommodate the legislature and government in the same building influence effective management, safety and responsibility in a negative way. Moontlik is die enigste haalbare oplossing dat ons gebou sal onderverdeel sodat die regering aan die een kant en die provinsiale parlement in die ander gedeelte van die gebou kan geakkommodeer word. Ondersoek na hierdie voorstel en ander opsies sal so spoedig as moontlik in die nuwe termyn dringend ondersoek moet word en met aanbevelings moet kom. Ons is realisties genoeg dat 'n nuwe gebou nie noodwendig die oplossing sal wees nie. Die behoefte om meer en groter kantoorruimte moet ernstig aandag geniet en die beplanning daarvoor sal moet geskied. Die vergrote spasie is nodig om die bykomende funksies van die ondersteuningspersoneel vir die parlement en sy lede te akkommodeer. En groter komiteekamers uit 'n al groter behoefte geword. Ons werksaamhede het met die tyd uitgebrei sedert ons werksaamhede 20 jaar gelede hier begin het en dit het tot gevolg dat as gevolg van ons begroting wat nie na wense miskien aangepas is nie, ons kontrakposte moet skep om hulle nie op die permanente personeelstaat kan kom nie. Ons waardeer ook die kiesafdelingstoelaag en sekretariële begrotings wat aan die onderskeie partye toegeken is. Fondse wat beskikbaar is vir ons oorsigaktiwiteite om die verantwoordelikheid ten opsigte van openbare deelname en die belangrikheid daarvan te hanteer, word met vrug aangewend in ons onderskeie kiesafdelings. En ek dink ons kan met reg sê, ons is as Weskaap dankbaar vir hierdie geleentheid wat ons provinsiale parlement aan ons bied. Dit is verblyddend dat die parlementêre dienste die tydige elektroniese weergawe van Hansard nou gevestig het. Die bewaring van 'n stel harde kopieë netjies gebind sal 'n goeie belegging wees om ook as een bron te dien vir ons instelling se geskiedenis op 'n netjiese manier te kan bewaar. Ons sien uit na die aktivering van ons nuwe webwerf, soos die spreker nou net genoem het, en vertrou dat dit vir almal toeganklik sal wees en die daaglikse instandhouding en byhou van data sal egter 'n uiterste belangrike rol speel om hierdie webwerf sinvol te maak. Sedert die eerste demokratiese verkiesing is daar heelwat noemenswaardige stukke wetgewing in hierdie huis goedgekeur. Die Weskaap was die eerste provinsie wat 'n eie provinsiale taalwet gehad het en wat ons egter op baie trots kan wees, omdat ons die belangrikheid van die beskerming van ons tale as 'n belangrike item gesien het. Other noteworthy acts which has been passed during my period here at Parliament is our Provincial Schools Education Law in 1994, our Constitution in Western Cape Constitution in 1997, our Provincial Honours Act in 1999, an act which should again be taken in cognizance by honouring those who have made a worthy contribution to our province and its people. Ek dink dis 'n wet wat ons regtig waar nie ten volle gebruik nie. The Western Cape Procurement Act wat ons in 2010 aanvaar het en the Western Cape Community Safety Act is van die wette wat van belang was wat ons in hierdie tydperk hanteer het. Dit is sekerlik die heel besigste tydperk nog wat die hantering van wetgewing in ons hele termyn en beslis ook in my 20 jaar wat ek deel is van hierdie instelling. Die komitee afdeling was spyk in die totale hantering van ons besoeke van komitee en komitee vergaderings. Speaker, ons is trots op die hele span wat in die komitee afdeling is en in die wyse waarop hulle ons ondersteun het en sal jaloers wees, alhoewel ek nie hier sal wees nie, as hierdie komitee personeel ander groen weivelde gaan soek. Ek vra vir u, kyk asseblief of die nuwe span wat jy gaan oor, kyk asseblief na ons komitee afdeling. Om die huis se wetgewende verpligting optimaal te laat funksioneer, is alle politieke partye se goeie samewerking onontbeerlik. Agbare Speaker, hierdie parlement is as wetgewer verplig om volgens die grondwet sinvolle en voorskriftelike aandag te gee aan voorgestelde wetgewing wat deur die Nasionale Raad van Provinsies hierheen verwys word. Nadat wetgewing na 'n komitee verwys is deur die spreker, moet 'n deeglike en wetlike proses gevolg word om te verseker dat alle implikasies van die wetgewing deeglik oorweeg is en dat grondwetlike vereistes ten opsigte van onder andere openbare verhore geskied het. Helaas, nasionale wetgewing is hier die begin van die jaar is 20 wetsontwerpe aan die provinsies voorgelê vir afhandeling. Daar was net eenvoudig nie genoegsame tyd om hierdie voorgeskrewe siklus van 6 weke te volg nie. Die manier waarop president Zuma en die ANC poog om wetgewing te stoomlader voor die verkiesing, waarvan sommige drastiese implikasies het vir betrokke rolspelers wat daardeur geraak gaan word. Daar is ernstige grondwetlike implikasies wat al hoe meer neig om alles te wil sentraliseer, soos byvoorbeeld die PAM-wet en die wetsontwerpe onder ontwikkeling van minerale en petroleumlandbronne en onder andere om maar net die 2 te noem. Daar word dikwels na ons verwys, dat die DA verwys deur ons kollegas aan die oorkant, dat ons want to close the democratic space. Maar hier is 'n absolute voorbeeld van hoe die ANC die demokratiese spasie. Wat is die haas dat hierdie wette voor 7 Mei afgehandel word? Om net 'n voorbeeld te noem, die petroleumwetsontwerp is op Vrydag 14 Maart, Vrydag is dit ter tafel is dit ingedien. Sonder dat ons in kennis gestel is, moes daar al Maandag al voorleggings gewees is. Dit kon nie gereël word nie, want dit was nie so gekommunikeer op die korrekte wyse nie. Daar was veronderstel, ja, meer voorleggingssessies. Wie moes hierdie reëlings tref? Die petroleumwet is 'n ongelooflike, belangrike wet wat mense beraak wat vir hulle deeglik moet voorberei. Daar is nie 'n manier hoe jy ordentlik vir mense kan vra om 'n voorlegging te kom maak by openbare verhoor nie. 2 dae later moet die tussentydse wat se negotiating mandate moet ingedien word en teen 25 Maart moet die finale mandaat reeds ingedien word. Waarmee is ons besig en waarmee is ons besig om toe te smeer? Deur slegs 12 dae daarvoor toe te laat in plaas van die voorskriftelike 28 tot 42 dae is dit nie net onregmatig nie, maar toon die totale migte wat die ANC het vir ons grondwet en die grondwetlike rol van die Nasionale Raad van Provinsies en die verantwoordelikheid wat elke provinsie in hierdie opsig het. Rolspelers het reeds hulle grondwetlike besware oor sommige van hierdie wette op skrif gestel. So is daar, en ek haal aan uit 'n skrywe wat ontvang is, the NCOP is required to ensure that potentially affected section of the population was given a reasonable opportunity to have a say. We are instructed to place on record our client's objection to the process. The hearing are being held, or indeed have been held at extremely short notice. The hearings have not been widely advertised in order to elicit the participation of women. Julle kan aflei wat 'n wetsontwerp ter sprake is, and the scheduling of hearings undermines our clients' constitutional rights to participate the process of the bill, thus undermining our democracy. The haste at which the hearings has been held our clients' relation to both the quality of the submissions and can be prepared and submitted, and the ability to organize women to attend and to participate hearings. End of quote. Om die sinvolheid van openbare deelname te verseker, sal er dus indringend en aandag ook moet gegee word aan wat wil ons werklik waar bereik met openbare verhore. Wil ons 'n massa mense by hierdie geleentheid hê net om te kan sê ons het 'n gehoordag gehad, of is die kuns om te bepaal wie ons werklik daarby. Want ek kan hierdie adjunkspreker dat ons personeel moeite gedoen het om al die rolspelers in kennis stel. Ek kan net vir u noem wat met die PAM-wet wat ons was. Die eerste wat die mense wat aangekom het, voordat hulle nog gevra het, wat is daar om hoe werk die prosedure? Wat is daar om te eet? En as die gehoor om daardie rede, ek was daar. So kollegas, ek wil vir u sê as dit die gewig is wat in openbare verhore gesit word om insette te kry, as dan ongelukkig weet ons weer die mense wat dit gevra het. Om 'n saal vol mense moenie 'n klug maak, moenie 'n grap maak van iets wat werklik waar ernstig is, die lid Brown. But that's what I've asked. That was I've asked. If you were there, Member Brown, you would have heard what I was saying. Nee, dit moenie my woorde. Ek doen 'n ernstige beroep daar ook, adjunct speaker. Ons het ook in die reëlskomitee die estetiese komitee gehad, wat se rol dit was om te kyk of ons nie ons geskiedenis ten minste van hierdie parlement op een of ander manier kon uitgestel kry, sodat ons dit kan vir die gemeenskappe, wanneer hulle hierin kom, die publiek dit ook kan ervaar nie. Ek is regtig spyt dat ons kan sê, ons het eintlik nie ver gevorder daarmee nie, en dit sal vir my belangrik wees, dat ons ook die geskiedenis, al is dan dit net ten minste die geskiedenis vanaf die begin van 94, toe ons 'n nuwe bestel begin het, dit in hierdie parlement op een of ander manier kan tentoonstel. Agbare adjunct speaker, hoe sê mens dankie vir 20 jaar, wat jy jou kiesers, ongeag van hulle politieke verbintenis, kon dien met die hoofdoel om van Suid-Afrika 'n voorbeeld van 'n goeie regering te maak. In die 20 jaar van diens aan my mede-Suid-Afrikaners en veral die Wes-Kaapenaars, was daar baie keer interessante eerstes. En ek herinner my nog, miskien sal dit Brown nog onthou van die reëlskomitees wat ons reg in die begin gehad het, en het net gegaan oor wat is die kleredrag wat ons moet aantrek. Reëlsvergadering op reëlsvergadering. En dames was nie toegelaat om langbroeke te dra nie. Mans was nie toegelaat om sonder 'n baadjie of 'n das in hierdie huis in te kom nie. Eintlik was 'n pak die voorkeur. Maar soos te verwagte, het die drag van ons eerste president Nelson Mandela, die huis uiteindelik laat toegee dat tradisionele drag of minder formele drag ook aanvaar sal word. Maar dit het nie gebeur voordat die eerste persoon wat ooit uit hierdie huis gestuur is om die huis gevra is om die huis te verlaat, juist die huis moes verlaat weens onbehoorlike drag nie. Met die tyd, en dis 'n ironie van die geskiedenis van die verlede, met die tyd het ons ook ander konvensies geleer, en dit was nogal iets wat vir my in die begin, wat ek sal onthou. Tydens begrotingsdebatte het lede dikwels ook vir al hulle sake wat hulle graag uit hulle kiesafdelings wou geopper gehad het, in die begrotingsdebatte, en ek dink ons het daai tradisie verloor. En dan het ons ook baie keer, en ek wys nie vinger na enige minister nie, maar ook baie keer is daar vrae wat in 'n begrotingsdebat gevra was, en was die gebruik half gevestig, dat wanneer 'n lid nie, die uitvoerende lid nie 'n lid ten volle kon antwoord nie, het daardie lid op skrif 'n antwoord gekry. En ek dink dit is 'n goeie gebruik, wat 'n mens regtig waar kan behou. Ek onthou nog soos gister my eerste toespraak hier in die huis, het my ouers op die galery gesit. My pa was self 'n lid in hierdie huis in die vorige bedeling, en van jongs af was hy vir my 'n mentor. Nog lank voordat ek gedroom het dat ek hierdie pad sal loop om eendag in hierdie huis te kan sit. My pa se belangstelling in die politiek het my bygebly, en hy het tot op 2 jaar gelede wat hy oorlede is, het hy nog aktief sy deel op sy manier bygedra. Maar wat ek by hom geleer het, is sy passie, sy toewyding om as verteenwoordiger, maar ook as gewone lid van die gemeenskap met waardigheid op te tree. En ek wil vandag vir u vra, ons wat hier sit, ongeag wat 'n politieke party is ons regtig waar elke dag daardie voorbeeld as politieke verteenwoordigers vir ons kiesers daar buite. En dit is miskien iets wat ons aan ernstig moet dink, omdat ons baie keer in diskrediet gebring word deur ons optrede in die media. Aan my kollegas in die oorkant van die huis, van julle het die pad saam met my geloop van die begin af. Saam met julle, party van hulle saam met my in die Nasionale Party, en toe met die Demokratiese Alliansie. En daarna het ons hier op 'n dag besluit, ons paadjies skei, en elkeen het sy keuse uitgebring om te besluit, wat is die beste roete vir my, om vir Suid-Afrika die beste plek te maak. Menige kere het ek en agbare lid Witbooi saam oor die stofpaaie aangedruk om te werk en ons kiesers te bedien. Later het die gee van 'n ou sakkie skorsies van een van ons kiesers wat ons albei graag aan ons kant van die draad wou gehad het, tot opslae gemaak hier in die huis, omdat ons hom graag elkeen by ons wou gehad het, omdat hy so harde werkende aktivis was. Agbare lid Brown, ons is die twee wat die langste oorleef in hierdie parlement. Die passie waarmee jy jou kiesers dien, is vir my bewonderenswaardig. Ek wil vir jou sê dankie vir die voorbeeld wat jy stel, hoe jy jou gemeenskap se saak in hierdie huis kom stel, want dit is hoe ons as politici moet wees. En ek het saam met verskeie premiers in hierdie huis gedien, Ernest Kriel, Gerard Morkel, Pieter Maree, Martinus van Skalkwyk, Abraham Rasool en Lynn Brown en nou Helen Zille. Elkeen het sy eie styl gehad en oor elkeen kan ons eie storie vertel. Ons huidige premier het daarom nog op hierdie stadium met die vloek van Leeuwenhof besweer deur haar termyn hopelik eervolheid te dien. Dan wil ek graag aan die personeel van die wetgewer, Mireille en al jou personeel sê dankie vir die ondersteuning wat julle aan my persoonlik, maar aan ons as lede bied. Ek dink ons is dikwels miskien onregverdig, baie krities, spreek vir ons uit op maniere wat ons nie, maar ek weet elkeen van julle wil vir ons op julle manier ondersteun sodat ons die beste kan gee vir ons gemeenskap. Dan wil ek my caucus personeel dankie sê vir hulle ondersteuning wat hulle aan elkeen van ons gebied het. En dan, om vir 20 jaar te oorleef in hierdie instelling, moes partye vertroue in jou gehad het. Dankie dat ek dit so lank hier kon, die geleentheid gehad het om my gemeenskap te dien. Maar laastens wil ek graag in sy afwesigheid vir my man Casper sê dankie vir die 20 jaar dat hy nie een dag op my pad gestaan het, maar my eerder aangemoedig het om hierdie taak te doen. Sonder sy volgehoue onskraging so ek lankal tou opgehou het. Na 8 Mei sal ek aan hom al my aandag gee. En ek wens vir elkeen van julle seënwense toe, vir u wat weer hier gaan sit op die banke, of miskien in oorkant by die groot parlement. Ek wil vir u sê, dit wat ons in hierdie 5 jaar van ons termyn hier geleer het, elkeen van ons het iets hier geleer om van ons 'n ander mens, en ek hoop 'n beter mens te maak. Gaan pas dit toe in julle lewe wat vir julle voorlê. Ek dank u.
Baie dankie, agbare lid Rousseau. Die agbare lid Uys.
Thank you very much, Deputy Speaker. En ek wil ook, en miskien net om ietsie meer daaroor vir die agbare lid Rousseau, ook dankie sê, maar ons sal dit later doen, vir die rol wat sy ook gespeel het. Sy het dit van 94 af vir ons gaan haal en deurgetrek, en ek dink sy het 'n wye ondervinding van wat hier gebeur en nie gebeur het nie. Maar ek wil een ding by sê, en dit is die rol wat haar pa gespeel het, en daarvan kan ek getuig. En ek dink hy het 'n besondere belangrike rol gespeel, nie net in haar lewe nie, maar in ander mense se lewe ook. Deputy Speaker, at the first Rules Committee meeting after the election of the new Speaker, and the Deputy Speaker proposed and motivated to limit the executive authority of the Speaker by diluting the powers and functions in a so-called governing board. A board proposed to take over the executive powers of the Speaker. Meeting after meeting, Deputy Speaker, time was wasted on this, discussions not getting to the real important and neglected issues of this legislature. It now seems clear that this was a futile exercise and the Speaker must be the executive authority, also confirmed by the draft legislation that we will consider next week. Linked to this, we had the Deputy Secretary to the Parliament appointed and seconded as Secretary, with the position of Deputy Secretary still vacant for years and still up to now. Speaker, you expected the Secretary to be both Secretary and Deputy Secretary, or other staff members must stand in while they are overburdened. This is totally wrong, Speaker, towards Mr. Hindley, other staff, and the legislator as a whole. Speaker, in 2000 and Deputy Speaker, in 2009, you and your office committed yourself to strategically look at how space is used and improve your relationship with public works and to protect the space and integrity of the legislator's precinct. To do this, you admitted that the only way to keep public works of Honourable Carlisle to joint agreements is by putting a service level agreement in place. This did not happen. It is very clear that the Speaker, Deputy Speaker, Secretary, or even the Rules Committee is not acknowledged or in the loop with Public Works on construction on this site. Further to this, the staff complement has grown with no new accommodation space that has become available, but an erosion of the space and precinct of this legislator is taking place daily. Still today, no service level agreement between the Department of Transport and Public Works and the provincial legislator. That's saying a lot of the leadership that we have, Deputy Speaker. Closely linked to the building and accommodation is the ongoing absence of a Western Cape Provincial Legislator Security Plan. The situation is more pressing as the legislator precinct being a national key point. People can come and go as they wish in the building with a real risk of security breaches, loss of assets, and safety concerns. Speaker, the provincial legislator has regressed from clean audit to unqualified with findings. Some of the matters that must be attended to include the following: material misstatement in financial statements and incomplete asset registers. Management did not fully consider the criteria of good performance indicators and targets. Management did not consider implementing the best practice for strategic plans and the APP. Goods procured from suppliers who did not have tax clearance from SARS. The absence of a formal monitoring and evaluation framework. Inadequate application of the GRAP standards. The organizational structure, Deputy Speaker, of the staff in the legislature has been changed many a time in a very ad hoc way, and you will know that we complained around that process. To amend the organizational structure, clear guidelines for organizational development and the process followed must be established. Speaker, what process will be followed to achieve this and by when? Speaker, this legislature was established as a key arm of democracy and constitutional obligations to make laws, exercise oversight, and ensure the involvement of the citizens in legislative processes. Since 1994, particular emphasis is placed on the oversight role of legislators. A South African legislative sector oversight model was developed. The aim is to see the model being incorporated in the overall oversight function of the South African legislators, including this provincial legislator. The model is expected to contribute immensely to conducting of effective oversight by the legislator over the executive. This will result in enhancement of service delivery and improved quality of life for all South Africans. This legislature is expected to start by implementing a standard model, and this should be followed by adjusting the standard rules to support prescripts of the model and to develop oversight legislation. But, Deputy Speaker, in 2010-11 budget of the legislature, this House was told by the Speaker and Secretary that the oversight model specific for the legislator will be finalized by March 2011. Year on year, no progress has been made, and the Rules Committee were informed in 2013 and now this year that the oversight model is still at EXCO. That's the Speaker, Deputy Speaker, and senior staff for consideration. Very unfortunate that the legislators still don't have an improved and implemented oversight model. Deputy Speaker, closely related to the oversight model is a communication strategy, website, public relations strategy, social media plan, public participation strategy, and public education and outreach plan. Of importance, and I must say also, and shame to this legislator under the DA, and after many years of promises, there is still no communication strategy, no website, and I'm happy to hear that there will be a website next week after after there won't be any more members in this sitting year, or policy for the website. No public relations strategy, no social media plan, no public participation strategy, and no annual public education and outreach plan. Although we have seen the partly implementation of the remuneration study, and I welcome that, there is still a challenge attracting and retaining personnel for the legislator. Human resource delegations and a formal performance management framework for legal services must still be put in place. Deputy Speaker, research that provided for the technical and content knowledge requirements of members and committees must be established, and a long outstanding valuation of valuable paintings and an inventory of heritage assets and an heritage strategy must be put in place. And that's also been coming for a long time, and that's also now being put on hold. Deputy Speaker, the legislator may and must determine and control its internal arrangements, proceedings and procedures, and make rules and orders concerning its business. Speaker, when this House or committee requests people to attend meetings, business must be conducted in a credible, dignified manner. Speaker, on the 28th of February 2014, people were invited to attend a meeting of SCOPA on Monday, the 17th of March 2014, with the notice requesting their presence at 9 o'clock. Speaker, SCOPA then proceeded with their meeting at 8 o'clock, and by 8:30, Deputy Speaker, very strange, already decided that the people that was requested to be at the meeting by 9 o'clock be summoned to SCOPA at a later date. And I was one of those members. How can you, in writing, signed, invite a person to be present at the meeting at 9 o'clock, proceed at 8 o'clock, concluded at 8:30, immediately decide before 8:30 to summons members to a next meeting, and 9 o'clock must still come. It's very strange, and there must be something wrong, something politically wrong that happened there. Speaker, is that not directly undermining the integrity of the House and undermining the integrity of SCOPA? And we had Honourable Geyer and Honourable Wiley even going out in press releases in this regard. And I think it's wrong, and I will be awaiting, Speaker, to your reaction and your response to this, and how you're going to rectify this. Because it was not only a discussion in this House, Deputy Speaker, it was really taken out right into the public domain. And therefore it's important that this House must in all ways protect and have fair hearings and be even-handed to each and every person here. SCOPA, the DA has this, and the question is very clearly to ask, was this a setup, was it upstage? But what was the issue to falsely implicate a member of this House by trying to say that person don't want to attend, don't want to really respond, don't want to answer questions in this House? And it's very strange that happened, specifically with two specific people of the ANC, and of course it would not happen with any of the DA people. The question that I want to put forward, Deputy Speaker, and I want to say is this was in bad faith. Very clearly, the members knew exactly, or some of the members knew exactly what they were doing, what they were trying to do. All I can say, it was not done in an honest way. It was not really done in a way to promote the credibility and integrity of this legislator. Yes, and there was one person who voted against that, and that was Honourable Uzinski, and the rest of the members even just steamrolled this. In your life, you will never get this. That there's a meeting that starts at 8, members formally invited at 9 o'clock, and by 8:30 it was concluded to summons those members. Summons where? They must only be here at 9 o'clock in a letter, formal letter, inviting them. And that's the whole issue. And I know you will argue away, but unfortunately it's there. Absolutely, absolutely. Absolutely, absolutely, Deputy Speaker, and it's very clear, listening to the members, there was a political agenda to this. There was no other reason to do that. Try to embarrass the ANC. We won't be embarrassed. The public will out there know what's the real issue. And the real issue was we were ready to come here at 9 o'clock, as we were asked to do, but it was concluded at 8:30. This is the legislator, this is the DA, and this is why we have all the failures in this House.
Order. Order. The achtbare lengte. Order, order. Give the honourable lengte the chance to speak now.
Deputy Speaker, as jy my net kan toelaat, ek wil ook net sê aan die agbare Rousseau, baie dankie vir haar leiding, baie dankie vir haar advies in die tydperk as lid van die parlement. Ek het dit baie waardeer. Sy is een van die min mense met 'n baie mooi gees in hierdie parlement. Baie dankie. Deputy Speaker, I support the 971 million budget for the Western Cape Provincial Parliament for the financial year 2014-15. The Western Cape Provincial Parliament is the institution that enables us to fulfill our oversight mandate over government departments. As elected representatives of the people of the Western Cape, it is the duty of members to ensure that we are responsive to the needs of our people to improve their living standards, especially the poor. We must be grateful that we have staff in an institution that is doing its utmost best to see that we are capacitated to keep government to account. Their contribution capacitates members to intercede on behalf of the poor when challenges are identified in government programs. Whatever the job description, they are part of the Western Cape service delivery story. Their support strengthens oversight over programs and policies so that the executive can create an environment to create jobs and grow the economy. Deputy Speaker, the 80% of the 108 million budget allocated against strategic goal 4 is a positive commitment. Strong corporate governance can only enhance the output and desired outcomes from a well-equipped and capacitated organization. Deputy Speaker, the Provincial Parliament promised to develop systems of risk management and internal controls, and they have a good story to tell. I am pleased that risk management and internal control systems are in place and in line with organizational best practices. The Provincial Parliament consistently complies with legal and financial requirements, and resources are managed in an efficient and cost-effective way. This is proof that leadership and management are leading the way in guarding against corrupt practices, unlike other legislatures and governments where politicians participate in it blatantly. We must be grateful for the revived leadership and management approach and the efforts they make in and the efforts for making this one of the best-run legislatures in the country. I thank you.
Thank you. The Honourable Speaker to reply.
Deputy Speaker, let me firstly take this opportunity to thank the Chief Whip for the past 5 years for the contribution she made during our rules meetings. And I hope that really you will enjoy your time. Deputy Speaker, the second issue that I want to address, that's what the Chief Whip said, the separation between the executive and the Parliament, especially the premises, if I'm correct, Chief Whip. Yeah. I think there was some discussion about the matter, but we can't, at this stage, we have took a resolution that the matter must stand over for the new Parliament. That means that after the election, then they will take the matter forward and discuss it. So there was some discussion about the issue, because this is a serious issue that affects everyone. Come again. Yeah, come again. We will be in charge after Okay. No, I don't want to, as a speaker, I don't want to politicize these things. Yeah. So who's in charge? That's up to, yeah, it's up to the voters who will be in charge. The, can we then proceed to Mr. Ace? Mr. Ace, you made mention two important things. You made mention of the SOM. Honorable Ace, thank you very much. I used to say Mr. Ace when we were together in this rules meeting. I forgot that I'm in the house. Honorable Ace, you made mention of the sector oversight model. You say you don't know what happened with the sector oversight model. That's not true. If you can recall, all provinces were given the opportunity to go back and customize their SOM. Because in terms of budget and finance, we can't afford what is in that document. Now I think it was before the last rules meeting, where the meeting, we took a resolution in the rules that because we don't have a budget to implement the SOM, it must stand over for the new parliament. And Mr. Ace was part of that meeting. So that's not true. And yeah. The remuneration study also you mentioned. I think I want really to thank the staff. We have done a lot to try to close the gap between those who are earning, starting from those who are earning very little salary to those who are getting in management positions. At this stage, the SOM, or the remuneration study, we are in the medium term of the market of the remuneration study. But we can't proceed with the remuneration study without getting money anyway. If the provincial treasurer can give us the money, then we can then proceed with the SOM. But without getting money, I don't think that we'll be able to really carry on with that. Also, coming to Mr. Ace, what have we done to address the AG performance, the AG results, as you said? I think Mr. Ace, after getting, Honorable Ace, after getting the AG findings about the provincial parliament, firstly, we spoke with the secretary and said, we need to do something. And what we did, we sent the MNT to management training in Stellenbosch University so that they can get a training exactly to be able to deal with the matter. And also draft APP was submitted to the AG with our inputs and recommendations to improve 2014-2015 budget. So we took an action to try to deal with the matter. Lastly, Mr. Ace, also you, Honorable Ace, you made mention of the website, and I think you were present at the last. Come again. You were present at the last. You were present at the last meeting where. Yes, of course, yes. I think the website will be live on the 28th of March, before the end of the financial year. We have a live website. Currently, we are in the process of loading the website and all those things. And yeah, so we are at the final stage of the website. Deputy Speaker, in closing, Deputy Speaker, let me also thank Mr. Lanthin, Honorable Lanthin. Thank you very much for your contribution. Thank you very much for your contribution, Honorable Lanthin. In closing, Mr. Deputy Speaker, I would like to pay tribute to members of the Western Cape Provincial Parliament for their vigorous debates and invaluable contribution you have made to the people of this province. Furthermore, Deputy Speaker, I would like to take this opportunity to thank you for your support and the Secretary and his staff for the diligent manner in which they conduct their business. A special word of thanks goes to my office staff for their unwavering support on many levels over the past few years. I thank you, Deputy Speaker.
Thank you, Speaker. That concludes the debate on this vote.